People think, oh, we're so burned out. No, it's like we're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, we have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years ago and you go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it. And we still have people blaming us that, well, the reason we're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's a 25% inflation that we face that just destroyed people's spending power. It's a 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They are not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially, relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids. How do I have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do I have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of. And I think we're being taken advantage of.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Thomas Carter, TC Talks, TC Fitness. Gladly here with all my people, back at it again with a new YouTube video. So yesterday I posted a video of, some people speaking on TikTok. And today I'm going to post another one. So today's video is basically people in America basically speaking on like them just being tired and the American dream no longer being like a reality, and obviously there's some people that's actually thriving in this current economy, and then there's some people that's, well, most people barely making it. And this is why I constantly tell y'all to invest your money, try your best to find other sources of income. Don't only depend on your job, because anything can happen to these jobs. And it's like I don't know, man. It's basically like a crap show, I'm not trying to be like a doom and gloom person, because I'm naturally an optimistic person. And we do create our own realities based off of our mind and the way that we think and the way that we perceive life. But I will always say this. Most employers, most jobs do not pay livable wages. I will always say that, bro. I don't care what company you work for. I don't care how long you've been there. I don't care how cool you are with the management and supervisors. These people ain't paying enough money. So it's like you gotta find a way out here. But with that being said, if you guys enjoy videos like this, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hype the video, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.
The boomer generation ruined our economy, and it is our parents' responsibility to leave us with money, because they reaped the benefit of the greatest economy in the history of the world, set up by the World War II generation. And then they screwed the economy and made it impossible for us to afford food, gas, rent. We can't even get a mortgage, right? Rent. We can't afford those things because when they depegged the dollar from gold in 1971, that allowed them to just print money. They're still doing it during COVID. They printed billions and billions and billions of dollars. And that doesn't hurt somebody who's got $1 million in the stock market, because as the dollar becomes worth less through inflation, their investments commensurately increase in value. But when you don't have investments, you just feel groceries and gas getting more expensive. It is our parents' responsibility to leave us with money.
It ain't no American dream no more. We living in an American nightmare right now. You got folks working 2-3 jobs trying to make it. Folks working 2-3 jobs and still can't pay their rent. People can't buy houses no more. You don't see people in their 20s and 30s buying houses no more like they used to back in the days. People can barely afford food at the grocery store because the price is steady going up. Gas prices is going up. And then you got to fill your tank up every 3 to 4 days because this gas is burning way too fast. You know what I'm saying? We living in an American nightmare. This ain't no American dream. I don't know what the fuck is going on. This ain't no American dream, though. Whenever you got to work 2 or 3 jobs and you still can't afford to live, you still can't afford food, you can't put gas in your car, you can't afford basic necessities, man. Shit. this American nightmare. Ain't no more American dream.
So apparently, nearly half of Americans burn through their paycheck within 48 hours of getting paid. And before people start screaming, stop buying coffee or learn discipline, listen to where the money is actually going. Rent, grocery, gas, utilities, late fees, overdraft fees. Y'all seeing the pattern? Now, this article I read said most people aren't even spending crazy. They're just trying to survive long enough to make it to their next paycheck. And honestly, that's the part don't nobody want to talk about. We have a generation that's working full-time jobs but living in survival mode. You get paid, bills instantly hit, your accounts get drained, then you spend the next 2 weeks waiting for a deposit. That right there is not freedom. That's financial survival. Now, Gen Z and millennials are getting hit the hardest because everything costs more and wages have barely moved. And people are wondering why anxiety, depression, and burnout are through the roof. How are people supposed to save money when most of their check already belongs to bills before they even touch it? You're getting paid just to give the money right back. The craziest part is that this article said many people aren't even irresponsible. The timing of the system itself is hurting the people. Bills come whenever they want and people only get paid every couple of weeks. So a lot of people lives on this constant cycle. Paid, broke, stress, repeat. And a lot of Americans are tired.
We're in a depression right now, but the only reason why it's not called that is because the wealthy people are wealthier than they've ever been. It's not a depression for the rich people. They're doing fantastic. During the Great Depression, the average cost of a home was about $4,900, which today is about $90,000. That was about 3 times the average person's wages. In 2026, today, the average cost is about $410,000, which is about 8 times the average person's wages. This is not accidental, and this is not just inflation. It is deliberate overpricing by wealthy people to put more profit into their pockets. And this is working really well for them. Back in 1985, there were about 9 billionaires in the US, and now we have over 1,000. And we're even on track to get our first trillionaire. Can you even imagine? Can you even fathom how much money that is? Thing is, you can't. So let's put it this way. If you counted one number every single second, it would take you 31 years to count to 1 billion. To count to 1 trillion, it would take you
31,000 years.
Meanwhile, the average American makes $66,000 a year. 1 in 4 Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and it costs about $159K a year to live comfortably. Believe you me, we are in a depression. It's just not called that because we don't control the narrative.
Cost of living in the United States right now is absurd. And I don't even know if it's fucking worth it anymore. Why is it so expensive? And I'm not even enjoying it. I'm gonna get some fucking Republican asshole. Oh, then you can leave if it were only that fucking easy, brother.
I cannot tell you the level of pride I get anytime that someone compliments my merch. Because it's mine. It's my company. You will never, ever get that feeling working for corporate America. Like, oh, cool gym bag, Morgan's, whatever. Like, no, it's not yours. You were gifted it on your first day of work when you still liked your job. But I made this. And you can buy it.
The housing crisis is also a crisis of hopelessness as young Americans give up, hustle less, spend more, and make risky investments as a last resort. I don't think our generation is hopeless. I think our generation is aimless. We're one of the first generations that we don't know what direction to go. Aimlessness is being dropped into a desert and not being able to see the tree line. We don't know if we're gonna get a job. We don't know if AI is gonna take our job. Even if we get a job, many people are overqualified, or if they get a job, it's for $20 an hour and they can't even get their own apartment. They're not making progress. Progress is the most important thing in a human being's life. Progress equals happiness. That is what we're suffering from. We need to see a tree line, a goal like other generations have. Whether you dropped out of high school, graduated high school, or went to college or started a business, They pointed you in a direction with a bunch of signs and you saw the tree line to get out of the desert. We're going to work. People aren't saving money. They're not investing. And we're actually spending more because if you have $80,000 of debt and you got $300 left over, you don't have a house. You're nowhere near saving 80 grand for a house. You have $80,000 of debt. You're being underpaid. What do you expect that person to do with $300? Say, fuck this. I'm going to go have fun at least and just try to figure out what's happening. We need direction. We need purpose. We need progress. But our life is completely turned upside down right now.
One thing I've noticed recently with a lot of candidates I'm having conversations with is a lot of people are considering actually leaving corporate America. They're considering leaving their corporate jobs, their 9-to-5s, whether they're burned out or they're just sick of the corporate structure. I'm hearing about so many more people who are starting up consulting businesses or starting up side hustles and going all in on them, or even just starting up their own business. And I think we're going to continue to see this trend. I'm also seeing a lot more people looking to use AI for their own personal gain, like trying to get more done as a solopreneur, as a small business owner, than even some of these huge companies can. And I think we're going to continue to see more and more people making these decisions over the next few years as the corporate jobs just seem to be less and less secure. People are getting tired of layoffs. They're getting tired of not knowing whether or not their job's going to be stable. And so a lot more people are going to be dropping out of corporate America. And I don't see that trend going away, especially not when I read articles about how CEO pay is going up like 20% and regular workers are only going up 1%. Now seems to be the time to go out on your own, start that business, double down on that side hustle, and make it happen.
The burnout in America is unreal. Did you see the headline that said 43% of Americans have used vacation time to just spend the day in bed? They're not using PTO to travel, they're using it to sleep. That's how tired we are. And I can already see the comments now. You guys are getting vacation time? I've heard stories of European coworkers not being able to meet their American coworkers in multinational companies because they don't want the American workers finding out how much vacation time the Europeans get. If people from the States found out how much vacation time you get in Europe, I think there'd be some big changes like tomorrow. It is unreal having to live in a place where you have to pick either getting a surgery or putting it off because you don't have the time to take off from work. This can't be healthy. This can't be the right way to live. That's why we're moving to Europe, the land of sunshine and rainbows. I like to say that to rile up my comments. No, we're moving to Portugal, a country within Europe that has its own slew of problems, of course, like anywhere else. But we're escaping the work culture. We're escaping the hustle and bustle and the never being able to take time for yourself. I'm turning 30 soon, and this can't be it. This can't be all there is to life. I refuse to believe it. And even if I fall flat in my face, well, damn it, I'm gonna try. If you find that interesting, stick around. We're moving next year, and we can't be more excited. And in the meantime, to all my American friends, don't be ashamed to take a day off or two. We could all use a break.
You know what I think it is? America doesn't understand exactly the height of where our mental health is. I'm ready to check the fuck out, but I keep going for my kids. And I am not the only person in America who feels like this. Do you know how high the unaliving rate has gone? America makes you hopeless now. You are hopeless. The American taxpayer, the working class, we are hopeless. I don't see a point in getting up and working. For what? I was just talking to my coworker, my program coordinator. She's like, we have to pick between car insurance and rent. Most of the time we're paying car insurance. People cannot afford to live. Nobody should have to pick between needs, things that are required, and basic living essentials like food. What the fuck? We have to eat from the dollar store entrees every single day? What? This is America now? What is the point, Donald Trump, of us going to work? Tell the American people what the point of the working class is to go to work when mothers don't even want to live anymore. Because they can't do shit for their kids. We can't even afford gas. My kids will go nowhere this summer. Because I can't afford $5 a gallon if I have my car because it doesn't get repossessed because I can't afford to pay rent and a car payment. What the fuck?